I don't know who Pam is. I don't know that student.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is with great pleasure I get to welcome you here.
Ms. Campbell, I'm sorry. I have to call the meeting to order first.
Yes, you do. Okay.
Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to the Attleboro School Committee meeting of Monday, May 20th. This is your notice that this meeting is being electronically recorded. Obviously, we are all very eager about tonight's meeting. This is our senior spotlight event for the class of 2024, and I will turn it over to Attleboro High School Principal Kate Campbell.
Thank you, Chairman Geddes. It is with excitement and enthusiasm. It is with great pleasure I get to welcome you here tonight to our beautiful Bray Auditorium, where we can now say feels like home. Tonight we celebrate some of our amazing high school seniors. We have many talented, creative, intelligent, kind, thoughtful, and generous humans walking throughout our building. But tonight is about acknowledging a few special ones. Tonight is also about recognizing some of the very important individuals who helped our students become who they are today. Small gestures, kind words, reassurance when life and school got hard, positive vibes when life wasn't going as planned, and sometimes the one who helped pick us up when life got really hard. The teachers celebrated tonight are being recognized for challenging and inspiring, but also for creating an environment where risks could be taken and acknowledged, a place where students wanted to come back to every day, and a place where students wanted to ask more and learn more, and where growth could mean so many different things. Last week, the seniors and I met to review what they wanted tonight to be like. We discussed different types of forums and settings, as well as how we wanted to share out. But the consensus was similar. They want to say thank you, and they want you to be noticed for making a difference in their lives. As we sometimes do here at Attleboro High School, we thought outside the box and did things our own way and made our own connections on how we wanted to celebrate. Each student tonight will have a spotlight that was developed by teachers, guidance, and administration teams. The students will then welcome the teachers they felt made an impact on their lives up to the stage. They will share a thank you for your role in helping them. A picture will be taken of each group that we'll share with you tomorrow. A student tonight, Jocelyn Connors, had an idea when we met that resonated with Caleb's idea of some type of token. She wrote a message I will share in a minute, but I also wanted to give a shout out to Ariel and Mr. Dan Brillon and the sophomore welding class for taking an idea and making it just right. Teachers, when you come up and join us on stage tonight, you will receive a special piece of metal. Yep, a piece of metal. Put it somewhere in your class or workspace, and remember our message to you tonight. This was the message that our seniors wanted to say to the teachers. A puzzle piece is a small portion of a great, big, beautiful picture. Each of us are made up of thousands of our own pieces, slivers of personality instilled by our mentors and experiences. But like most jigsaws, it sometimes takes a bit for everything to fit just right. Each piece is a story part of this larger artwork we call our identities and our lives. Sometimes it takes just the right eye to find that last piece where it all becomes crystal clear. Students will be presenting Attleboro Public School staff today their puzzle pieces, representing the contributions such beloved supporters can have on a student for the rest of their lives. Each lesson is a story, and it is thanks to the people that foster our education that our lives may have become a bit clearer. Due to their contributions, we are more whole, able to build ourselves up, to embrace our futures beyond school. We hope you can carry this piece as a reminder to how you guided that promise of hope to fall into place for the seniors here today. Thank you, Jocelyn, for writing that and sharing and speaking for us. All right, here we go. Our seniors spotlights. Jenny Morin, could you please head to the front? Jenny will be attending UMaine and will participate in their marching band. Here at Attleboro High School, she has been a member of the marching band, drum major for 2 years, and plays baritone horn. She's also been in the band classes and is band president. She is a jazz and percussion ensemble, honors diploma. She's in the drama club. She also plays tennis for our team. She is a lifetime volunteer summer performances with Triborough Youth Theater. She was a part of National Honor Society, as well as Tri-M Music Honor Society and Spanish Honor Society. But Jenny, listen carefully to this last part. You exude positivity and kindness wherever you go. And that was celebrated again and again by the people who spoke about you. Congratulations to Jenny. Jenny would like to recognize Miss Katie McCarthy from high school, Miss Faulkner from high school. As soon as your name is called, come on up to the stage. Mr. Burry, I see a trend here with some musical from middle school, and I'm not sure if Jill Dorfman was able to make it tonight. Oh yes, look at that. Hi, Mrs. Dorfman. Will be joining us as her kindergarten teacher. Oh.
That's awesome.
Who's going to be my photo? Nicole, can you? Yep. No, wait 1 sec for a photo op. Okay. Oh, I thought you were sending Jill off stage. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll get faster at this, we promise. Paige Parento, could you join the spotlight? On the surface, Paige may look cool as a cucumber, but beneath the laid-back attitude lies a fierce competitor and a formidable intellectual. She will earn the honors diploma and her CTE certificate in medical assisting. She is president of Student Council and secretary of Skills USA and has volunteered at Sturdy Hospital and in her church, as well as playing field hockey for 4 years. She was recently recognized as the National Honor Society South Sectional Student of the Year. In the fall, she will enroll at Quinnipiac and pursue a pre-med program. Congratulations, Paige. Could Mrs. Tammy Ramos join Paige on stage from Wamsutta Middle School? Mrs. Kirch is not here tonight, but she is being celebrated from Attleboro High School, and I believe that Miss Angela Larson is here. Could you please join us? That's a good one. Maddie DeFlaminese, come on down. Senior spotlight for you. Maddie did say, Mrs. Campbell, make it good. Sit down. Who was that, Maddie? Maddie is receiving an honors diploma. She will be going to UNH for physical therapy. She has been a very involved criminal justice student. She has volunteered continually in our 12+ program and has served as a house office aide. She is also a first-generation college student. She is mature and self-aware. Maddie is a wonderful human being who knows how to prioritize and to advocate for herself. She is open to asking questions when she needs to, and she looks out for others along the way. She's been inducted into both National Honor Society and National Technical Honor Society. Last year, she joined Best Buddies as a senior and is the floater for Skills USA. Additionally, she has been cheering for Attleboro High School for 4 years and has served as the captain. She recently decided to continue cheering at UNH. Maddie, I want to thank you for being one of the first students here at the high school to welcome me last year and always say, hey, Mrs. Campbell, how's it going? I appreciate and I'll miss your smile seeing you in the hallways. Right now, could we have Miss Colleen Gordon representing elementary school? we've got Jordan Shepherdson, who is representing middle school, but we also know we love her now in the high school, as well as Wes Pondofino for the high school. How'd I do, Maddie? Okay. Thank you. Brody McKenna is at a game right now, but it was important to him to be able to share out, so I think some of his staff are here, but I do want to be able, I told him that he'd be able to watch, but I wanted him to be able to know the recognition that he was getting, and it was important to him to share the recognitions that he wanted to give. Brody McKenna is a two-season varsity athlete. He plays football and baseball. He's also been our football senior captain. Brody sees life and is able to navigate through storms. He is a remarkable human who, in sometimes a quiet way, makes a very big difference. He will be playing Division III football at Salve Regina. He also works in the electrical CTE program, and again, it was really important to Brody to be able to celebrate his teachers tonight. He wanted to celebrate Mrs. Howe from middle school, Mr. Ben Harris from middle school, and Miss Silva from high school. If you could join, if you could just come up. And we'll Photoshop Brody in.
Nice job, Brody.
Hey, Sheila. Hey, Andrew. Again, we'll Photoshop Brody in tomorrow. I need someone from TV and broadcasting to do that. There you go. Vicki already said we've got that. All right, here we go. Chloe Erace, come on down. Chloe will be attending Mount Holyoke. It was an early decision acceptance. She is a first-generation college student. She has demonstrated her leadership skills again and again. One of them in able to start Active Minds chapter here at Attleboro High School, but also finding the Student Equity and Advocacy Club at Attleboro High School. She was one last year as we were opening the building, coming off a pandemic, and said, Mrs. Campbell and staff, we really need to be doing something about mental health, not just about what we have, but recognizing how students have accessibility to it. So thank you, Chloe, for doing that. She is also part of our marketing CTE program. She frequently helps tutors in American Sign Language at Attleboro High School, works at the food pantry, part of the art club, and National Technical Honor Society. Chloe has invited Lisa Crisafulli. Wes, you get to come back down from the high school. Thank you. You getting your steps in? Nice job, Chloe. Pam Anarchy, if you could come up. Pam is a medical assisting student. She's a National Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society, Math Honor Society. She's consistently challenging herself through high school with honors, AP, and dual enrollment courses. She intends to pursue becoming a nurse or doctor. She's extremely focused and driven, according to her teachers. She's also a former English language learner. She is a fantastic role model to her classmates. She respects everyone and their opinions and demonstrates self-control as she always avoids negativity. Pam partakes in a variety of well-balanced extracurricular activities that range from Skills USA to BSA, to academic honor societies, to also softball and track. She finds time on the weekends to volunteer at her church. She embodies unparalleled inner strength and persistence. She is currently enrolled at Simmons College. They are lucky to get you, Pam. We would like Mrs. Espinal to join the stage from high school, Mr. Carpenter from high school, and Mrs. Heel from middle school. Pam, who do you want standing next to you? A lot of memories and a lot of love in these photos. Darwin Vargas Rodriguez, come on down. I'm so glad we're celebrating you. Darwin has family in Guatemala. He's been on the yearbook committee. He's been a house office aide, and he does something unusual every day and sets an alarm to remind himself every day to practice gratitude. He has interest in law enforcement or maybe automotive in his future. He is a genuinely warm and sweet person. Darwin is one of our students that when you walk through the halls, he makes eye contact and says hello, and it makes a difference. Thank you, Darwin, for what you do. He's also been recognized by his house team as Student of the Month, and he has been continually recognized for his core value excellent recognition. Darwin would like to recognize Mrs. Krieger from the high school. Mrs. Krieger is probably going to say she appreciates Darwin. I think it goes both ways. Am I right, Mrs. Krieger?
You get me one more year, Mrs. Campbell, because of Darwin. I'm staying.
Ah, look at that. Darwin, when did you enter Attleboro High School? Yep. Okay, that's what I thought. We're very glad you're here. Yep. Nice job. Isha Mavi, please head to your spotlight. Isha Mavi. Isha is bright and engaging in conversation. She's hardworking in and out of the classroom and is determined to meet her goals. She will receive the honors diploma, having always been an outstanding student in honors and AP classes, and is always involved in our school community through class council and best buddies, amongst others. She plans to study biology or pre-dental at UMass in the fall. Isha wanted to thank Mrs. Young from Hill Roberts Elementary, Mrs. Kanata from middle school, and Ms. Santos from the high school. Isha, I want you to know that Mrs. Young and I talked together before you were born. Arna Sodani, come on down. Arna is ambitious and consistently pushes herself into more and greater opportunities in her academics and her personal life. She pursued the Attleboro High School's honors diploma and was actively involved with the Leos Club, Best Buddies, and Future Focus. She also maintained part-time employment and continues to represent Attleboro High School in many leadership conferences as well as Girls State. She plans to study business at Boston College. From elementary school, Arna wanted to thank Mrs. Durkee. Is Mrs. Paula Durkee here? Oh, that's great. As well as Mrs. Trudeau from 11th grade, and as well as Miss Sinan. good to see you, Paula. Good to see you. Great. Thanks, Denise. We're hearing a lot of "I would not be here without you." Nice job. Shawshank Shridhar, come on down. Shridhar. Shawshank Shridhar. How did I do? Okay. Also extremely motivated and dedicated. One of the things that I love is your positivity and your ability to pivot when you need to, be flexible when you need to, and tackle whatever challenge comes your way. He is always seeking academic challenge. He will earn the honors diploma, having taken 8 AP classes. As a senior, he did an independent study for artificial intelligence because he completed all of his AP CS offerings already. Outside of the classroom, he is a 4-year member of the Attleboro High School boys tennis team, as well as the robotics club. In the fall, he will study computer science and data science at UMass Amherst. Shawshank would like to thank Mrs. Turfenthaler from the high school, Mr. McCarthy from Wamsutta Middle School, Miss McLaughlin from Hyman Fine, but now at Wamsutta. Mr. McCarthy. Is that right? Mr. McCarthy from Wamsutta Middle School? Yes. Okay. Is he here? No? Adahi Escobar. First generation. Taught himself to be fluent in Spanish. Is that true? Good job. He's in CIS. He's in the Leo Club. He's a National Hispanic recognition from the College Board. He is in the Spanish Honor Society, National Honor Society, Math National Honor Society. And has the decision been made, are you going to UMass Amherst for computer engineering? Can I tell you something? They're lucky to get you. We would like to welcome Miss Dorfman back to the stage, and we would like Mr. Burry back to the stage, as well as Miss Isafo from the high school. Hi, Jill. So good to see you. You're awesome. Sean Kaswali, if you could join us. He will be getting the honors diploma. He's also a first-generation college student. CTE medical assisting, cross-country, 9th and 11th grade, winter track, spring track, Skills USA, Best Buddies, National Honor Society, Spanish National Honor Societies, math, we got it. You like the National Honor Societies. He's also volunteered at Hebron Food Pantry and works as a lifeguard. Sean was one of 2,224 students nationally that were awarded the Questbridge National Match Scholarship. Over 20,000 students applied across the U.S. It was a very rigorous process that met tiers, and Sean kept going up and having to do more and becoming, until he landed where he did. He will be going to the College of the Holy Cross, where he received a 4-year scholarship to attend, where he will be studying pre-med. Congratulations, Sean. Mrs. Millette, a second grade teacher from Willett, Mrs. Ramos, an eighth grade teacher, as well as Miss Silva, his English teacher. Please join us. You getting your steps in, Tammy? Thanks, Meredith. Thank you. Jessica Harrington, could you come on down? I forgot to ask, did you win? Okay. Jessica will be receiving an honors diploma. She is in CTE medical assisting. She's had 5 APs, 14 honors, 1 dual enrollment class. She's played soccer for her high school career as well as lacrosse. She's been on class council, a whole bunch of honor societies. She's also a first-generation college student. Skills USA for the past couple of years and works at Duncan 20 hours a week. She tutors other students, does other volunteer work through Sturdy Hospital, and she's on the CTE Advisory Committee. Throughout her life, she has always presented as a very positive attitude to whatever comes her way. Challenges seem to sometimes be handed to you, and you accept them, you tackle them, and you move on. Congratulations. Also very exciting that you will be studying pre-med biology at Boston College. Miss T, could you come back for the high school? Kyla Benedetti from Brennan Middle School. Miss Wiles at Willett, nope. Is Miss Wiles here from Willett? Oh, great. Jessica, you get one too. You get the bigger one to keep. That's yours. Good to see you. Jocelyn Connors, could you head up next? Jocelyn has received an honors diploma, 13 honors classes, 1 dual enrollment, 7 AP classes. She's a dedicated art student and a phenomenal writer. She's been a Girls State for the editor-in-chief of The Citizen. She's president of the Drama Club. She's in the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild as an all-star drama company, Guitar Club, Art Club, GSA, NHS, NHS English, and she was a founding member, Math NHS, Art NHS, Spanish NHS. Again, we like some of these NHSs here at AHS. But she also runs her own craft business. She is an Irish dancing member and is also a teacher. When election offices were up and running, she interns there. Jocelyn will be attending Notre Dame to study architect. She will also be recognized as our valedictorian at graduation this year. Could Miss Jessica Yucatonis from the high school join us, as well as Mrs. Tova Stevenson Martin and Mr. Joseph Gorman from the high school. Sabrina Boylan, if you could join us. A graphic design and communication student, honors diploma, 14 honors, 5 APs, National Honor Society, Spanish National Honor Society, Technical National Honor Society, Springfield College Book Award recipient. She's been a Best Buddies member since 2020 and is vice president of the junior and senior year. She is a competitive dancer since 2011 and practices a minimum of 15 hours a week. She works as an after-school childcare provider for Abacus since January of 23. She also volunteers at Abacus in the summer and Special Olympics. She will be attending Dean College with a major in dance, with a double major in either psychology or early childhood education. We hope you come back and work in Attleboro Public Schools. Mrs. Delpap from Thatcher, if you could join us. Miss Bellucci from Wamsutta, but now at the high school. And Miss Bissett, could you also join us from the high school? Do you feel like you've been sitting here a long time? You guys okay? I just asked the students if I need to speed it up, and they said, no, we're fine. So they're enjoying their moments. I'm so glad. Thank you. All right. Kieran Akhtar, if you could come on down. She is a medical assisting student, honors diploma, 12 honors, 5 APs, 2 dual enrollment courses, National Honor Society, Technical National Honor Society, World Language National Honor Society, Math National Honor Society. She has been in ICNE Sunday School since 2017. She's educated in Arabic and is able, and as well as pronunciation and Islamic history. She's class representative of the Leo Club since the fall of 2021, members of Skills USA, Class Council ×2, and Book Club ×3. She volunteers at ICNE Sunday School since 2021, also volunteers at Special Olympics. She was a big part of our Blue Pride Night and junior volunteer at Sturdy Memorial Hospital. She has committed to MC PHS for pre-med health studies in the PA program. They are lucky to get you. Acknowledgements tonight go to Mr. Dan Nolan from Coelho, Mrs. Espinal from the high school, and Mrs. DeStefano from the high school. Hi, Dan. Good. Victoria Matthews will join the spotlight next. She's a motivated student and a wonderful member of our Attleboro High School community. She's a serious student. Last spring, she was impressively inducted into 4 National Honor Societies. She's also in the Tri-M Music Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society, National Math Honor Society, and the National Honor Society. She's in her 3rd year of our TV and radio broadcasting CTE program and is a student advisor on the CTE Advisory Committee. Vicky is the head major drum leader of our marching band after holding the drum major and percussion leader positions in previous years. Vicky, you are all over our school in the best way possible. You are in musicals, you are in plays, you are doing snapshots of what our school looks like. You've been able to find spotlights in others around you, and I hope that you continue to do that for what you bring to our school. I know that UMass Boston is just as lucky to have you in the fall. We would like Janet Peabody from Studley, Kelly Bergeron from the high school, as well as Katie McCarthy to join us on stage. Who's crying, Vicky or Katie? Okay, just checking. Victoria Westwater, if you could join the stage. Victoria is dedicated and a motivated student. She is a contributing member of our Attleboro High School community. Tori is a valuable special ed aide in our Insights program and makes a difference. She is the secretary of Best Buddies, class representative and class council, and was captain of the field hockey team this year. She will major in education with a focus on special education in Bridgewater. Vicki, I also hope that when you're done, you return to Attleboro Public Schools and say, hey, I want a job. Could Mrs. Hirsch from the high school, Mrs. Hirsch is not able to be here tonight, but we've got Kelly Bergeron. I should have asked you to stay up here. But, oh, good. Oh, I'm so glad. I thought there was an email saying that you couldn't come. I'm so glad that you're here. Great. And Laura Nibala, can you come on up? Sorry, Tammy. Three left. Audience members, you okay? Okay. Caleb Plass, if you can join us. Caleb, one of your teachers wrote, "You are one of the kindest, most compassionate, humble, and caring students I have ever met." Caleb is a remarkable young man. He will be getting an honors diploma. He's planning to attend WPI for computer science and/or business. He's been an Eagle Scout. He has been a CTE student with Criminal Justice, National Honor Society, World Language Honor Society, Math Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society. Caleb continues to find goodness in the world, even when much sadness was endured. He is an example to all of us. Caleb would like to have Mrs. Burry from Brennan Middle School, Mrs. Greening from Brennan Middle School, and Mr. Reed from Attleboro High School join him on the stage. Ariel, if you could come down. Ariel was one of our student resources that was able to work on our tokens with the medal. She was very creative. Ariel has also overcome challenges with some unfair expectations life may have handed her. She's very motivated and continues to do what she knows is best. Everybody here at Attleboro High School is very proud of her. Ariel continues to be a solid student and is focused on her future. Multiple opportunities are ahead of her. Right now, she's deciding between attending BCC or she would like to also be going into the Union, Electric Boat, and one other place of employment just to keep her options open. I also want you to know that am I right, Ariel? Yeah. What I learned this past week is what a talented artist with metal fabrication you are. And Ariel, someday if you see any of these amazing benches shaped as butterflies, and I can't even explain the beauty that you built as your senior project, but I know that I'm going to see you one day and be like, man, I know who that artist is. So thank you for all that you do. This time, Ariel would like to invite up Sedina Beaudry. She is retired from Attleboro High School. Was she able to? Sedina's here, yay! Also, one of our welding partner in crimes, Dan Brillon, and also Andrew Perlow from the high school. Kindergarten, so Zadina, were you with Ariel in kindergarten? Kindergarten to 12th grade. That's awesome. Nice job. Ava Roy, could you join the spotlight? Ava is a talented student. She's an honor diploma candidate. She's in her 3rd year of the criminal justice CTE program. Ava has been a member of the drama club and is directing the children's play this year. She was inducted into both National Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society, and World Language Honor Society. She's on the advisory board for Mock Trial and is a member of the Best Buddy group. She will be studying interior design and architecture with a focus on crime prevention. We would like Mr. Toby Reed from Attleboro High School to join her on stage, Ms. Tova Stevenson Martin from Wamsutta, Ms. Kelly Crawford from Elementary. As we wrap up our celebration of seniors, I want you to know we are celebrating you for all that you have accomplished, but also for the people that you decide to be each and every day. Continue being you, continue to shine, continue to make the decisions even when they're hard the way that you're doing. To my colleagues who we were able to honor tonight, thank you for what you do each and every day. The work we do is hard. And there are many days educators might wonder, what exactly are we doing in this business? But we are reminded when we have opportunities like today to celebrate the students and to remember what encouraged us to do the work that we do. I believe here in Attleboro Public Schools, we are extremely, extremely blessed to have the level of dedication and devotion from our staff. So thank you to the Attleboro Public School teachers for joining us tonight. And I will follow the rules. Back to you, Chairman Geddes.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. Congratulations to all the students and to all the staff. I did get to spend some time at scholarship night with some of the students and was, in my short time there, very impressed with each of you and all of your accomplishments and all of your aspirations. Each student and each staff member recognized tonight did get a certificate. We do have some certificates still on the table, so if you did not get one, please make your way over here in a moment. But the student certificate reads, the Attleboro School Committee hereby commends student name, of the class of 2024 for representing Attleboro High School's 155th graduating class with great distinction. The governing body of the Attleboro Schools conveys its best wishes for a future defined by happiness and success. Each educator received a certificate that reads, the Attleboro School Committee hereby commends, teacher name, for contributions to Attleboro High School's 155th graduating class on behalf of the Attleboro community. The governing body of the Attleboro Public Schools conveys its sincere gratitude to you and your colleagues for engaging, challenge, and inspiring the Attleboro High School class of 2024 throughout their time in the Attleboro Public Schools. At this time, I do want to open it up to my colleagues if anyone has any comments. Mr. Storrs.
Thank you, Mr. Gibbs. My favorite night of the year. This is such an amazing thing. The fact that I look out in the audience, I see so many who have affected my children means a lot to me. So I'm not even going to go into names. Just thank you for everything you do. This is a very special night. Thank you.
Agreed. Anyone else? All right, we do have some housekeeping and adjustments to make for the next part of our meeting, so we're going to go into a recess. Again, students or staff, if you did not get a certificate, please come find one of us and we'll get that to you. We will be back in 5 minutes.
All right. Hi, Pam.
I will call the school committee back to order. Uh, As always, another fantastic senior spotlight that really captures what the Attleboro schools are all about and the outcomes we want and all the different skills and opportunities that our schools provide. So thank you again to Ms. Campbell, all the educators, and congratulations to all the students. Next item on the agenda is our superintendent's report, and for that I will turn it over to Mr. Sawyer.
Thank you, Chairman. Just one item of business for the committee tonight, and for that I'll call up Mr. Furtado.
Good evening. First, I want to apologize for having to be here right now. The item on the agenda has to do with a contract we entered into with a company called CELT, which provides our internet service. It was not a standard 3-year contract, which we are legally eligible to do. It was a 3-year contract with 2 one-year additions, which requires both school committee and municipal council approval, which we failed to get at the time.
All right, then I will entertain a motion to approve for the administration to enter into a contract with CELT Integrity Learning Solutions for CELT Integrity Learning Solutions Incorporated for the length of 3 years with 2 one-year renewal options as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions for Mr. Furtado or comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Furtado.
And that concludes my report.
Well done, Mr. Sawyer. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our April 22nd, 2024 meeting. They were provided with the packet for tonight.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Any questions, comments, corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next item is our consent agenda. A motion to accept a donation in the amount of $31.43 from Panera Bread to the National Honor Society sub-account line at the high school. Motion to accept the contractual obligation from Bay State Textiles Incorporated in the amount of $44.70 to the Hill Roberts gift donation line. Motion to accept the donation of $40 from Renee White to be used toward the lunch balance of students in need.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next is our subcommittee meeting reports. We will start with Teaching and Learning Subcommittee. Ms. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The following is the Teaching and Learning Subcommittee report of our meeting held on May 7th. First thing I would like to touch upon is the curriculum review cycle, which is something that we've talked about in the past. This is something that is done periodically to make sure that whatever curriculum, whatever program we're currently using is still serving us. After just a high-level overview of how this rolls, after a program has been in place for a certain amount of time, the district will analyze and gather test scores and other metrics. They'll review them, they'll gather input from stakeholders, and the committee will form to decide whether or not the program should be revised or should it be replaced. And there's two curriculums that I want to discuss with you tonight that are in active phases of this review. Before I get into that, I do want to make a mention, just to remind everybody of the HQIM, High Quality Instructional Materials designation from DESE. The state of Massachusetts, when we are reviewing our curriculum, and if we decide to revise or replace, they want it to be replaced with something that is of a high quality metric. So the two programs that are currently going under review, the first that I want to discuss is Into Reading, which is focused on grades 3 through 6. This program has been grant funded via the HQIM standards being met. There's already been 6 days of professional development, and so far it looks as though we expect to definitely reap the benefits of this change in the reading curriculum. The second program that I wanted to call out, and just remind everybody, this is constant, but these are just two that we discussed in detail in our meeting. The second one I want to call out is Everyday Math, and this is focused on K through 2. With Everyday Math, we are in the step that this will be piloted, and we expect to have some feedback very soon as to whether or not we're going to be keeping this program or moving forward. And I definitely want to thank all the participants who provided feedback, who answered any surveys, and have volunteered to pilot any programs going forward. Any questions about those two programs? Okay, seeing none. Also want to take a moment to talk about the Student Opportunity Act. A requirement of the SOA funding is that we need to periodically provide a written plan of what we expect to do with those funds. So the district took some time to identify the areas of greatest opportunity. One of those areas that we saw that we had a lot of opportunity and to make a difference is with our English learners. These are students that come into the district with a low level or no level of the English language. We've noticed a steady increase each year in this population and wanted to find a way to better serve these students. Currently, we have about 450 students. The bulk of them are in the elementary school, and one benefit of that is the younger you are, the quicker you will obtain this language, and most of these students are testing out by the time they get to middle school, and they're no longer in this program. As part of the curriculum review process, the district did visit some districts that had a specific program called English 3D, and this program is expected to be piloted next year. The last thing I just want to mention real briefly is a new program called PAR, or Peer Assistance Review. This is a new program that came about through the AEA negotiations, and it was developed through the Teaching and Learning Lab. And this just gives teachers another venue to receive feedback from their peers. This will be piloted next year, and hopefully we'll have more details, more information to provide probably about this time next year. Any other questions or any questions, thoughts? Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report.
Excellent. Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Next is Policy and Personnel Subcommittee. Mr. Storrs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Policy Subcommittee met last Monday on May 13th with a focus on reviewing our Section C policies, some edits and new policies that MASC adopted last year, as well as a few job descriptions for positions that are already in place and filled. All motions were voted out of the subcommittee unanimously, so I'll put them right up for discussion. So in the first group, the following policies were reviewed, and they either align with MASC or meet the needs of the district. The subcommittee recommends no edits, and to note the review date, CB, Policy CB, School Superintendent, CBD, Superintendent Contract, CCA, ASD Line of Authority, CE, Administrative Leadership Teams, Councils, and Committees, CH, Policy Implementation, CHD, Administration and Policy Absence, EEQ, School Committee Transportation Policy, and KI, Visitors to Schools. Since these is just a recommendation to note the review date, I'll put the motion up for discussion. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. We will note the review date. The next motion was focused on MASC merging policies CHC, Procedures Dissemination, and CHA, Development and Procedures. Since the removal of the policy CHC, and the edits to policy CHA to include the CHC guidance are related. I'm going to take both of these up at the same time. The subcommittee recommends removal of policy CHC, procedures dissemination, and approval of the edits to policy CHA, which now will be titled CHA/CHC, development and dissemination of procedures. And I'll put the motion up to discussion. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. We will merge CHA and CHC. All right. The next set of motions are recommendations for the subcommittee to make edits, mostly minor in nature, to align with MASC, CA, administration goals, CBI, evaluation of the superintendent, CCB, staff relations, CHCA, approval of handbooks, CM, APS district annual report, IJND, access to digital resources, IJNDB, empowered digital use policy, IJNDC, acceptable use of digital resources, KBBA, non-custodial parents' rights, and KE, public complaints. The committee members have all been provided the policies. Does anybody want me to take any of them up separately? Seeing none, I'll put these up for discussion. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great. The next four policies, they're brand new. They were adopted by MASC last year. They are EFE, Civil Rights Complaint for Child Nutrition Programs, and I'll note, Mr. Furtado explained that this is something we're already doing. He just puts it into policy. GBEE, Personnel Use of Technology. JICJ, Student Cell Phones, which we've talked about in the past. So we're looking to finally approve that policy, as well as KDC, Community Use of Digital Resources. Again, the committee members have been provided the new policies. Anybody want me to take any of them up separately? Seeing none, I'll put it up for discussion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great. Okay, next we have edits to policy DGA, Purchasing Authority, and Exhibit DGA E1, Authorized Signatures, Purchasing. These were recommended by our business manager and administration, and the committee members have been provided the updated policy and exhibit, and I'll put these up for discussion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great. Okay. Next, the following job descriptions have been recommended by the administration. As mentioned, these are jobs that are already in place and filled. Help Desk Technician, Technology Administrator, Assistant Technology Administrator, Network Technician, Technology Support Specialist, District Nurse Coordinator, and School Physician. The committee members have been provided the job description. Does anybody want any of them to be taken up separately? Seeing none, I'll put these up for discussion. Are any questions, discussion regarding the job descriptions?
Just
Please.
a quick one, because I was having trouble pulling it up now. The document itself said school nurse leader. You had a different name.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up. The Human Resource Director has asked to use that other name, so we're looking to approve the job description with the name I noted.
With the amended
which
name.
was the amended name of District Nurse Coordinator, so thank you for bringing that up. Okay, any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Wonderful. The last item that we discussed during our meeting was the handbooks. This is our annual review of the handbooks. The members did receive the handbook memo dated May 9th, 2024. So these are all the additions and revisions for next school year. And it's broken down, I'm not going to go into every little thing, but it's broken down by all the different grade levels and school levels. So we're looking, we did vote out of the subcommittee to approve these changes. I do want to note one section, and there was discussion about it as we were reviewing this, and it had to do with page 8. Again, this whole cell phone, well, we call it personal electronic device policy. So the policy itself is very small. We put a lot of the meat of it into the procedures, which is controlled by the administration, and of course, that's something that Kate and the staff here, as well as throughout the district, are going to have to deal with. And those details are going to go into the handbook, of course, because the students, the parents need to be aware of the requirements associated with these PEDs. So I would say the only area that the members had any questions on was regarding the first offense, second offense, third offense at the high school level. We did ask the administration to have further discussion with Kate, and I will ask Lori to talk to that a little bit.
Thank you, Mr. Storrs. Is this still on? So I did have a chance to speak with Principal Campbell as well as Associate Principal Heel. They did explain to me that the reasoning for the first offense being with the assistant principal in the house was an opportunity for them to have a conversation with the student after the first offense with the teacher has already been discussed and a call to home has been made. So the next time that the child has made the offense again and had the phone out in the class, then that's when the teacher would reach out to the assistant principal, have a conversation with the student, and then at that time they would get an extended detention. So the purpose of that was so that they could have the opportunity to provide the student with a warning and say the next time that this happens, then it would be then confiscated and placed in the Yondar pouch.
Thank you. I think we should also know that one of the line items regarding the high school PED guidelines is that further violations of the policy will result in progressive discipline in accordance with the handbook. So although this is offense 1, 2, and 3 noted, it does give the flexibility to the administration, to Kate and her staff to progress if necessary. So I think we're covered in that way. So with that, again, this was voted out unanimously from the subcommittee. So I'll put this up for discussion. So there is a motion on the table to approve the additions and revisions to the 2024-2025 student handbook. Is there any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great. Thank you. And that, Mr. Chairman, concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Storrs. Excuse me. Next is our Infrastructure and Facilities Subcommittee. I'll turn it over to Mr. Domenici.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We met as a committee on last Wednesday, May 15th, and we started off our committee, well, it turned into a really substantive hour-long discussion with Jonathan Plord, our network administrator. We had asked him to appear as a guest to talk about IT infrastructure at not just the high school, the new building, but also within the district. So while I won't go into as much detail as we did that night, Jonathan gave us an overview of the department. He oversees 8 people, some that work on a rotating basis, going to all the different schools to handle support, and then some right here at the high school. He also oversees the data specialists, couriers, and the copy center staff. So, you know, he's got a little bit of a wide variety there. And we talked a little bit about different vendors that we use, but largely the nuts and bolts of the conversation stemmed around the infrastructure for our systems in place, internet connections that are used, both staff and students, which vendors we use, the services that they provide. We talked a little bit, obviously, about Wi-Fi. Jonathan spent a little bit of time talking about E-rate funding and how we get some rebates through that process. It's an annual submission that he goes forward with. So that was interesting to hear some of the things that are available for Jonathan. We got into a little bit more detail about cybersecurity challenges overall amongst, that he sees within the district, succession planning, cross-training, and, actually even the ticketing system for how inventory is handled. And he actually let us know that next year the CIS class at Attleboro High School is going to handle first-level Chromebook repairs. So a way to integrate a CTE program into, into real-life practices. So we also talked a little bit about the cameras that are coming in the elementary schools and some middle schools. It does look like currently we have, I think with the money the city's allocated, it should be able to outfit all 5 elementary schools and at least 1 middle school. I think if some of the quotes come back a little bit favorable, we might be able to get another middle school in and then tackle what's left over the next year or so. And we also talked about some besides cybersecurity, ransomware, just some of the basic things that happen in daily life and how that might impact us at the schools if there were any sort of impacts. Mr. Bennett is a member of the subcommittee. He also works in a similar capacity at Clark University, so he and Jonathan engaged in some really high-level drill down details at certain points. Jonathan welcomed the opportunity for any of us to reach out to him with some follow-up discussions, but it was a really robust and healthy discussion on his part. From there, we turned over to some of the capital improvement projects that are ongoing and upcoming. With the high school, and it was timely because we had just had the school building committee meeting earlier that day. There were some issues that had been identified with the cooling systems. And Mark, I couldn't remember if we're looking at potentially replacement of a couple of those. Believe it or not, they've been up there for going on 3 years now, although that's also not that long. So that is covered by the project itself. There were some painting issues that were previously addressed while we're still waiting on the status of a third-party testing result. All the touch-ups that were asked for have been completed, and they're pretty much down to just a handful of punch list items within the high school itself. The fields are almost complete. They should be ready for use next fall. We then talked about Thatcher briefly. They have a univent replacement work is started. It should be done by August. And we actually agreed to have our next meeting next year at Thatcher so we can check out the handiwork. Willett, the long-awaited air conditioning project at Willett was dealt a little bit of a hurdle. It had to do with a purchase order that was approved for the air conditioning. Because we're using some federal grant money, there was a concern by the city as to whether or not the same procurement laws, they're a little different between the state and the federal procurement laws. So DESI auditors were on site and helping Mr. Furtado to hopefully have that issue resolved in short order. We are still on target for that project this summer. So I don't want to alarm anybody who's been who teaches or goes to that school. We are moving forward. And then we also turned, the last item of business that night was for some parking lot work. An engineer has been hired to do work for the environmental impact study, and there are plans for work to be done at Thatcher, Hymanfine, and Studley Elementary Schools. That work should also be completed by the end of summer. I didn't have any motions to bring out. We didn't as a committee. Unless anyone has any questions, that concludes my report.
Just a quick question. I know we had talked about, because this was your first meeting since inauguration, maybe, but we had talked about possibly discussing revisiting solar for the buildings and the parking lots. But I know the city has renewed their discussions about entering into some kind of a solar agreement. So has there been, Mr. Furtado, have you been informed of anything from that standpoint?
Just as you said, the city has taken kind of the baton again and is running with the group that we were talking to explore opportunities in the district. So it's sort of, again, out of our hands and will be managed at the city level across multiple city properties.
Excellent. Thank you. Any other?
No, I have nothing else. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Domenici. Next on the agenda is open forum. Is anybody here to address the committee at open forum? Seeing none, I will close open forum. Our next school committee meeting is Monday, June 3rd. Between now and then, a couple big things happening. This Thursday night at 6 p.m. here in the Bray Auditorium, the Attleboro Community Academy graduation is happening. There is no school, a reminder, no school for Memorial Day on Monday, May 26th. And then a week from Friday, the Attleboro High School graduation will take place at 6:30. Again, it is currently scheduled to happen at Tozier Cassidy Field. but by Wednesday, the Principal Campbell will communicate. If the weather looks uncooperative, we may move to the gym. So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. We are adjourned.